What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and today we're actually taking a look at an old school LEGO Star Wars set, being the very first Imperial ATST. That's set 7127. It had 107 pieces, one minifig retailed for 10 US, and it came out all the way back in 2001. Now nowadays this set's going for 72 new or 24 used. We're gonna be taking a look at this set's positives and its negatives. We're gonna call it like it is. There's gonna be no mercy here shown. But yeah, this should be interesting. This is a very nostalgic model for me, but again, we're gonna take a look at the good and the bad. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view. Now this is quite a small little ATST. I mean, what would you expect with a $10 set? But it does an adequate job representing it. The colors are quite off, but it's not the end of the world. It actually has a really cool little feature to this set, which is somewhat unique to this ATST. They generally don't make them walk. But let's now break it down area by area. And the first thing that I wanted to kind of show off was this little walking mechanism. So literally, you can make the ATST walk, which is quite cool. You can even make him moonwalk or whatever, like Michael Jackson. And yeah, it's just pretty simple. Just literally these two long Technic pieces that hold the legs together. And it works quite well. It's quite strong too. But if you take a look at the feet, this is one of the negatives. Again, just that coloring. I have no idea why it's tan and brown. It is on Endor, but the ATST is not brown and tan. Maybe, Endor has all these brown trees, but that shouldn't really translate to the ATST. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. Moving to the top of the set, you'll notice it has some nice printed pieces. These are kind of like back windows. It almost look to be like blasters behind that window. I'm pretty sure it's not that, but again, nice detailing. Then on the side you have these blasters which you can rotate, and then at the front of the ATST you have its main guns, same deal. And then right here, I believe this is supposed to be like a rocket launcher, and you can rotate that as well, a heavy blaster. I think that that's pretty decent for 2001 with what they used for the weaponry on it. And again, I like the size of this. If you have, maybe a AT-AT, like a minifig scale one, not the UCS one, I think that this looks actually quite good next to it just because it is so much smaller. Then on the top, you'll notice it has another printed piece. That's one of the things I really appreciate about these older LEGO Star Wars sets. There's no stickers on it whatsoever. And then opening it up, very easily access Chewbacca. Let's actually just remove him and show you guys one of my favorite printed pieces, which is this computer targeting program they have right here. You can see it's obviously targeting another ATST, which happens in the movie. So I thought that was quite cool. Give you guys a little bit better view of the cockpit. Now it does only seat one minifigure. However, I'll forgive it at this size. The other ones, 2006, 2007, ATST, and the ones that came out after it, I don't, just because they are big enough, I believe, to hold two minifigures or, have a little bit of a mod and they're able to do it. But with this one, I think that that's all you can fit. And you could actually seat a minifigure and then have the hatch open and have another minifigure poking out. Overall, this is not the best LEGO Star Wars set, but it definitely has some positives going for it. Let's now take a look at the minifigure. And here we have the single minifigure that's included, being Chewbacca. This was one of the first times they made him. I believe he was also included in the original 2000 Millennium Falcon. And it's a decent looking minifigure. I like the mold for him. I like the fact they didn't think they could make him, with minifigure pieces, maybe give him a minifigure head. I think that would have looked awful. Instead, they made a mold, which is nice. I mean, it doesn't have too much printing going on. What is interesting, though, is they bothered to, if you notice, there's a little bit of silver showing in his belt, so they bothered to actually put a little bit of printing on him, as well as his nose. He has a black little nose. This is definitely basic by today's standards, especially if you compare him against what we get nowadays, but I don't think he's terrible again. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Personally, I think that this set was very fairly priced. I think that the size is actually pretty great if you're comparing it against, the normal minifig scale ATSD, not the UCS one. So it has some things going for it. However, the colors, as we mentioned, are completely off. What is tan and brown doing on it? Nobody knows. The minifig is not all that bad. Some people don't like the original Chewbacca. I think it was actually quite good. I like the mold for him, and I love that little computer piece where it's showing he's targeting another ATSD. The printed pieces on this set are fantastic. However, it's just a little wonky looking. If this was all in gray, I wouldn't have too many issues with it. I think it would be, a decent representation, not the best of an ATSD. However, just with the coloring, it should be better. But again, LEGO did this back in the day. I'm not sure why. And then they eventually realized, with the 2007 or 2006 ATSD, that this was a completely gray model. But let me know what you guys think about this one. If you like it, if you don't. Any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. Personally, I don't think it's terrible. I just think that the coloring is really off, and that's part of the reason why I don't really give this set the thumbs up, although I still like it and it is quite nostalgic. But that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons, whether they be old, new, we kind of do it all. And yeah, I love LEGO Star Wars, you guys probably know, and this set it's an interesting set to take a look at, especially since it is the very first ATSD. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.